Hello everybody, I don't know why I done that with my arms. Guys, I'm extremely sorry I haven't posted for ages. It's been like 2 months. I did upload a video, but I took it down because I thought I could explain myself in a different way, and it did offend someone, and I'm really sorry to that person who I offended making that video. But that video will be up soon, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. So yeah, let's get straight on with today's video. I'm surprised I haven't made a video about this particular topic, and if I have, then cool. If I haven't, I'm quite shocked on myself. I do mention it sometimes in my other videos. I'm quite open and honest about this topic, and I'm open and honest about it with other people and stuff like that, and that is self-harm. Yeah. I get asked questions quite a lot about self-harm. So I'm just going to answer some of them. So a question I get asked a lot is, what is self-harm? And self-harm is you are purposely putting pain on yourself to kind of distract yourself from the outside world. That's what it is. And there are different forms of self-harm. The classic one that people think of is cutting. But that is not the only one, ladies and gentlemen. No. There is pulling of hair, there is scratching, there is biting. Picking scabs is one, because it leaves a mark and it takes longer to heal. Punching walls, hitting your head against the wall. I do know someone who does that. And another one I found out in like April was eating disorders classed as self-harm. So anorexia, bulimia, obesity is an eating disorder, and there is another one which quite a few people are diagnosed with. It's a bit of bulimia and anorexia combined. That is classed as self-harm because you're putting strain and pain on your body. With anorexia, you are starving yourself of something that you need, and with bulimia, you are destroying your stomach, your heart, and your throat, and your teeth, and your eyes and your skin. And anything can be destroyed with bulimia. I only found that out, so yeah, I have now 2 different types of self-harm which I do, or did. That's another video I'm going to explain. The self-harm I did was I would cut myself. I used to punch walls. I did hit my head against the wall once. Ended up passing out, so I'm not going to do that again anytime soon, or never hit your head against the wall. Easier said than done, am I right? And another question I get asked is, do people do it for attention? I don't think people with self-harm do it for attention. You do get those people who post about it online and who are like, look at my cuts, look at my arm, look at all this. And unfortunately, now when people think of self-harmers, they think of attention seekers because it's online. But 95% of the time that's not the case. People who self-harm, from personal experience, just want a release of the outside world, even if it's just for a second. I realised that when I first started self-harming, which was 6.5 years ago, I started to crave that kind of pain to distract myself from anything else that was going on. School was really tough for me. Home life wasn't the best. I struggled to fit in quite a lot, and I felt like I had this message to give, but I didn't know how, and if I opened up I would get backlash from it. So I tried to keep my mouth shut at school quite a lot, until really the last year, which was only last year, which I started kind of going downhill and then explaining how I feel. So we do not do it for attention. People say, where can you self-harm? You can literally self-harm anywhere on your body. People usually think of the arms, but you can do all up your arm, you can do your legs. Some people do their ankles, some do their toes, their feet even. I know some people who do their chest, their stomach. They do, some people, which is really dangerous, they do parts just behind their neck. But obviously if you're like, that's if like cutting or anything, but if you're like punching walls, then of course you're going to be hurting your hands and your arms. Pulling of hair, that's another one. And a question I get asked is, how did I overcome self-harm? It's been a battle. It's been a long, hard battle. Anyone who knows me personally knows it's been a real struggle. Especially over the past year, it's been really hard. I've had a lot of stuff going on, and it's been a struggle for me. I've had to, I gave my blade to someone who I know won't say anything and will treasure it almost, but who says I haven't gone and got a new one. I haven't actually got a new one, so yay. But I distract myself quite a lot. I will phone a friend if I ever feel like rubbish, if I'm worried that I'm gonna self-harm, if I'm about to self-harm. What sometimes happens is when I'm about to self-harm, I will get a call from my friend and I will be like, what is going on? I'm about to do this. And I'll get a call from them and they will distract me and I'll completely forget about it. Or like I'll get a notification pop up on my phone and I'll be like, so and so posted a YouTube video, go watch it. And I'll watch it and it will distract me. You can do other things, you can go for walks, you can go for runs. You can paint. When I was in therapy last year, I did paint a lot. I have a whiteboard. It's quite therapeutic. Before I used to just scribble over it. Now I have messages and it reminds me to keep going. I have up there, I am better and stronger than my depression, my anxiety, my self-harm and my bulimia. I keep that up there and I have a bunch of photos on my wall. I also have a happy jar. I will go get that for you now. This is my happy jar. I made it about a month ago. I've got really cute little things in here. So I have this little thing, you are loved. I have a picture of the youth group that I see up in Suffolk. They are my family. I have quotes from my therapist. I have other Polaroid pictures. Picture of me and my sister. It's really cute. So I usually look at this. I try and look at it once a day to distract myself. But sometimes, guys, people who are a self-harmer will know that sometimes distractions don't work, and that's okay. Not every time we're about to self-harm or we distract ourselves is necessarily going to work. I found that out when people definitely found out when they tried to distract me. At first, I wasn't distracted at all. I don't know. I don't really care. Now, when people phone me, I'm like iffy, yes and no. I'm usually distracting more when I get in contact with someone or if I see a YouTube video pop up. But what I'm just trying to say, guys, is with self-harm, you're not alone. There are people who care for you and want to help and will help you. You've just got to find them. You have one person right here who loves to help people. I love helping people about this particular topic as well, because it's one close to home for me. My bit of advice would be is to tell someone you trust, who isn't going to judge you. And I know sometimes there isn't a straight away person you can think of. Like, I can think of a couple of people I can tell straight away and they won't say anything. But I remember I didn't tell my parents. Well, my parents found out about a year, about 2-3 years later. But now they know and they are supportive with it, and they're not judgmental, and they're always trying to stop me from doing it, which is really helpful. You ignore the noise outside. I live on a noisy estate. And that may not be the case for you. Maybe you feel like your parents won't care, but deep down they do care, even if they don't show it. Tell a friend. If you tell a teacher or anyone who's in charge of like safeguarding or has a safeguarding policy. Do be careful that they could possibly get in contact with your parents. You know, I've heard people who come up to me who have been doing it for years, and that I've been the first one they've told, and I've had to go, unfortunately, and tell someone else. In one case, I did have to end up telling this guy's parents because it got really bad, which was really sad. And he was angry at me, but then he thanked me actually a couple months later. I was like, thank you. And then I have people come up to me who they just done it, and I'm talking to them like, don't get into the habit of it, because self-harm is an addiction, just like alcohol or drugs or smoking or sex. Yes, sex can be an addiction, guys. That's another video we're going to talk about, sex and an addiction. Eating could be an addiction, really. Or not eating could be an addiction as well. Eating disorders class as an addiction. And you don't want to start an addiction like this because it will take over your life. But saying that, if you do self-harm, don't be ashamed of your scars, ever. You know, your scars show that you fought through crap. You're going through crap. They all battle scars, which is really cheesy to say, but they kind of are your battle scars. It shows that you were in a bad place. So my scars show that I was in a really bad place, but you don't see any fresh cuts, so hooray for me. I'm going to leave some links in the description, so you can go and look at them. I'm going to leave some hotlines down there, because self-harm can be linked to other things, like depression, suicidal thoughts, anxiety, eating disorders. It can be linked to anything. If you think this video could help someone, please do share it with your friends. Give it a like, it really does help. Leave a comment, message me. All my social medias will be down below. I love talking to you guys all the time. Like I say, I get messages from people, and yeah, but I get messages from some of you guys and you haven't subscribed. What's up with it? And do subscribe, become a pumpkin or a ginger nut, as my other ginger friend calls it, who lives in Suffolk, which is either way. I don't know which one it is. You know who you are, Ginger. And like I always say, stay positive, stay happy, stay you, stay strong, and stay. I love you all so much from the bottom of my heart, and I will see you in another video in the not so distant future. Bye, guys.